How do I align my Celestron? You obviously use Auto 2-star align. I thought I'd do solar system align. Are both you just dumb? You obviously need to use the 2-star alignment method to properly align your Celestron. You two and all of you need to watch this video on how to properly align your Celestron. My name's Pavlet and this is Astro Singularity. So in today's video, we're just going to do a quick step-by-step guide on how to align your Celestron, Nexstar, 6SE, 8SE, 4SE, 5NC, so forth. So yeah, just got it out of the box. Hopefully it's still daytime for you when you do this, because key first step is align your red dot finder. It's better when it's during the day and you have a object that you can see that's not too faint. That's the further the better. And yeah, you want to do it during the day and make sure it's a land object and it's not really moving, so it's a bit easier for you. It'll be a bit hard to find as your red dot most likely won't be centered, so you want to just find it and just get it centered with your dots, or with the dots as best you can. One moves up and down, other one moves left and right. I've had to do a bit of a modification. I'll add a photo of that to my red dot, where I unscrewed it with this little piece of cardboard just to rise it a little bit, because my issue was it wouldn't be able to go down anymore, so I had to raise it a bit at that way so it leans forward a bit more so it can do that. So yeah, you want to do that, and then once you get out, you can point it at a start, and then you can just do those final adjustments then, because it will be a bit more precise then, because the object's going to be a lot smaller and you're going to be able to make it so it's a bit better. Second step, make sure you have your attachments on that you're going to be using. I would be using a Barlow lens, but because where I am right now, so I have good lighting for the video, I can only see 2 stars, Sirius and Regal. I call it Regal, don't blame me if I pronounce it wrong. So those are the 2 I can see, so, and those are fairly high up, so I can't be using my Barlow lens or it's going to interfere with the mount and I won't be able to go that high up. So I've removed the Barlow lens, but if you're going to use a Barlow lens, keep it on. I'm going to look at Jupiter later, so I'm going to pop it back on for that, but then I'm just going to take it off, get some photos of Orion and so forth. Okay, so you've got that set up and that. Find a good spot in your backyard, front yard, wherever you are. And then make sure you're on a nice sturdy surface. I'm on some wooden, or not wooden, some stone tiles. I do have a wooden porch. That's where I first put on. My issue with that is when you look through it or you walk around it, it shakes a bit, makes the image a bit blurry. Okay. So yeah, so you do need to be careful about that. So make sure it's on a nice solid surface, so it won't wobble if you walk around it, if you move, there's some wind. More sturdy the better. But yeah, you've done all that. You've got cables, you've got everything plugged in, you've got this aligned, done. What you want to first do is turn it on, and I'm going to add photos of this as well. There's 2 stickers that both say index on them. Just get them aligned and make sure they are aligned. That should be fair. That should make your telescope nice and flush and level. Also, make sure your tripod is level, your mount is level before, because the more level it is, the better it's going to turn out, or better the precision of going to is going to be. And make sure it's facing north or rough north. I'm rough north and that. So after you've done that, make sure you turn it off and turn it back on. That's what I like to do, just to be safe. And then here we go. So I have factory reset my thing, my hand control for this video. So it's going to ask you which language you speak. So you have English, Spanish, German, French, Italian, and so forth. You want to pick which one you are. English, so I'm going to do English. It's going to tell you to accept it. Just press enter to accept. Just press enter. It's initializing. Just give it a moment. But yeah, just before this video, I just got some flat dark biases, because I'm going to go for some photos of Orion Nebulous a bit after, hopefully. So hopefully that turns out well. Okay, so it's initialized. It's all booted up. it's going to say Nexstar 6SC, press enter to begin alignment, press enter. Your hand controls will tell you everything step by step on how to set it up. Can be a bit confusing at times, so that's why the video is here. Can also just watch or read the instruction manual. Reading no fun though. So what you're going to do now is it's going to do select method, skyline, auto 2-star, 2-star, 1-star, solar system, EQ north, and EQ south. Skyline is if you have a Windows laptop and you have the Celestron app, you can use that. My opinion, from what I've heard, that is the best one to use. It will be the most accurate. And then you also have auto 2-star, which is a simpler version of the 2-star, but the most reasonable and the best one to use if you aren't going to be doing Skyline or EQ is 2-star align. Do you have EQ? I don't have a wedge or an EQ mount, so I'm not going to be doing that. There are videos out there on how to do that if you do have one of those. So yeah, you're going to select 2-star align and press enter. So it's going to ask you to do city database or custom site. You can do city database, a bit easier, but custom site is what you want to do to be more precise and make it more accurate go to. After you press that, it's going to ask you to enter your longitude, what you want to do for that. Just go on Google and search up my longitude and latitude. gpscoordinates.org, that is a good one. And then allow it to get your location. Nice. Okay, here we go. So now it's going to give you, so it has decimal degrees and degrees, minutes, seconds. That's the one you're going to want to be using for this. So just copy and paste it in. Okay, so after you've put all your numbers in, double check, triple check, quadruple check, so you don't need to redo this step. Yep, I have done it. Press enter. Now it's going to ask, are you east or west? Or is your thing for east or west? It will also pop up on there if it's east or west. For me, it's east. Press that. Same thing with your latitude. Put that in. Done. So I've put my latitude in now. Same thing, press enter, north or south. It will say I'm south, so I'm going to press south. Now it's going to ask you for your time zone. Same thing once again. Search up my current time zone. I know I'm in time zone 11. So I'm going to press 11 and press enter. After that's going to ask for your time in hours, minutes, seconds. You can put that in 12 or 24. If you do it in 12, it's going to ask you if it's AM or PM. If you do 24, it's not. So for me, what you want to do is just search up my current time. Timeanddate.com is a good website for this. You also do need the seconds. So it's 10:42 and 55 seconds. So what I'm going to do is pop in 10:43 and 5 seconds and wait till it hits that 5 seconds. And as soon as it's done, press enter. It's going to ask you AM or PM because I did 12, not 24. Select PM. Standard time or daylight savings. For me, it's daylight savings. Same thing, you can search it up if it's daylight savings or standard time. For me, it's daylight savings. If it's summer for you, it's daylight saving. If it's not, it's standard time. At least that's my understanding. So daylight savings, press enter or whatever it is for you, and then your current date. So in here it says it's the 10th of the 31st, 2018. So it's month, day, year. In Australia, we do day, month, year here. So what you want to do is get your current date. So for me, it's the month is the 2nd of the 6th, 26. Press enter and done. Now it knows your current location. And whatever you do, make sure you do not move your telescope now. Because if it is off by a centimeter, it can make it off by a lot there. And you won't be able to see your planet straight off. You'll need to make it go to it. Next step, it's going to ask you to select your star. So for me, I have got Sirius and Regal in my line of sight at the moment. So I'm going to scroll down. Remember, use the scroll wheels. You can't use these, or you can't use the 4 arrows. That only moves your actual arm and the telescope. You need to use 6 and 9. They do the scroll. So scroll down until you find which one you're going to be looking for. Whichever one pops up first, I'm going to do that. So it would be serious. Wait, no. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Q, R, S. Wriggle, then serious. So wriggle, press enter, and it's going to say use direction buttons to center object. So what you want to do is, if you're using an eyepiece, look to your eyepiece. I prefer using a camera and a software for it, as you have a crosshair which helps to get it perfectly in the middle. So yeah, put your exposure to the lowest, gain as high as possible, and with your red dot that you should have perfectly aligned, what I do is put it to the lowest possible setting. Try and make sure you don't knock your telescope at all, and make it go up. There is going to be a button that says if your thing is too slow, motor speed 9 is max, 1 is slowest. So what you going to want to do is press motor speed and the number of the speed you want, and that can be quite useful. Let me find these two quickly. You also will get into some very odd positions, and you will get some neck strain over time. So the first part, it's just going to want you to get it center or get it in your eyepiece or your camera. And the second part is going to make sure you get it in the middle and aligned perfectly in the center. My thing might be out of focus a bit. It's definitely a lot easier to find with eyepieces, especially if it is out of focus. I might quickly pause for a minute and get my eyepiece out. There we go. There we go. Nice. Got it. Okay. And after your first star, you should get it nice and focused. In editing, I will add a video of my dog chasing off possums that decided to come. So yeah, but you want to press enter, and now that's going to get you to pop it in the center. So just use the controls until you get the star as center. If you're using an eyepiece, as center as possible as you humanly can. But if you are going to be using a camera, use a red dot or use the crosshair, and make sure it's in the middle of the crosshair as much as possible. All different camera apps will have different types of crosshairs and different ways of finding it. I just use the base ASI. And then after you get it in there, there's another button that says align. You need to press align the second time. So first time you press enter, second time you press align. So now I've selected my star. It's going to pop up select star 2. So you find your second star. I'm doing serious. If you are going to be doing this, it's best to pick 2 stars as furthest away as possible. But I can't. As where I position my telescope, so I have some lighting for you guys. I can only see 2 bright stars that are going to be in my database. So yeah, what your plan is now is just get it straight up and into Sirius. It is best not to touch your telescope during this process, but I sort of need to because I'm gonna fall. But yeah, so now I've got Sirius in my thing. Press enter, and now just get it in the center of my red dot. But I still remember my first ever time looking through. I think the first thing I ever saw was Saturn or Jupiter. It was Saturn, I think. Yeah, Jupiter was still a bit too early. It rose a bit later on in the day or at night. But yeah, first thing I ever saw was Saturn. It is a wonderful experience. To the eyepiece, wow. And then when I got my first ever proper deep sky photo of Orion and of Jupiter. But yeah, it just amazes me how much a little bit of tweaking to a camera can do. But yeah, I just make sure you try to get it as best as possible. Then it's going to pop up with align successful. So that means it's all done, and now you can do different things, go to different objects. Sometimes you might be a bit unfortunate, and it will say failed, big bummer. You got to redo it all, pop your longitude, latitude in. Sometimes it just decides to play a very annoying game, and it does it. And yeah, but right now it is beautifully tracking Sirius. It's still in the center. But yeah, so now what we're going to do is just for this, just slew straight to Jupiter. So I'm just going to leave my controller there. But yeah, I'd recommend when you do that, try not to touch your telescope like when you're down there. But as I said, I'm going to fall over if I don't. Time to put my Barlow lens in. So let's see how far off this guy is. This guy's not off. It's a bit off. It's not on Jupiter exactly, but that's more my fault as I didn't really do two best stars for this. The further the stars, the more accurate it'll be. You'll be able to pinpoint exactly where it is, so it can get better. So it can get or point at it a bit better and get better readings. Okay, Barlow lens is in, and now let's go to Jupiter. There's Jupiter. And there's a moon. Let's drop down exposure. And gain. Let's hope seeing conditions aren't too bad tonight. There we go. But yeah, I hope this video helped you out with first time ever setting up your Nexstar Celestron, Celestron Nexstar 6SE, 8SE, 4SE, 5SE, so forth. And I hope you do enjoy your rig a lot. And I hope you have a lot of fun with it. It's a very fun telescope. You can get some great images out of it. Just got to know right things to do with it. I'm still learning a lot every day. I watch videos, try to learn different things, help me improve. My images have improved a lot over since I first bought it and first used the camera, over a few YouTube videos and a few simple tweaks. Quick tip I will give is when you go to something, especially if it's accurate, it might not exactly track. Or no, if I shouldn't say if it's accurate, but yeah, it might not track properly. And then it just decides to be a pain. So what you got to do is just keep moving it so it's centered in there, and eventually it'll get the gears moving. It's sort of like, I guess like a little RC plane that you got to move the engine yourself to get it going. Same thing here. You just got to sort of move the gears a bit so the gears get pumped and get going and start tracking it. So sometimes we might get lucky with the tracking and it will stay in there for a very long time. Sometimes it might be in there for a few minutes and you might need to recenter it and so forth. But with planetary, it's not too big of a deal as you shouldn't be getting that long of a video anyway. I'd say max is a minute unless you're going for EQ and trying to get a full rotation video of it, or something like that, or a short rotation of it. But other than that, 30 seconds a minute is more than enough you need for a nice planetary photo. So it shouldn't be too big of a deal. But yeah, I really hope this video helped you out. If you did need help, if you didn't, thank you for watching. Overall, thank you guys for watching. If you did like the video, drop a like. If you have any tips I can do, or any tips for a person that is watching that's relatively new, please put them down in the comments, as I'm still learning and there are plenty of people out there still learning. Thank you for watching. This is Astro Singularity and clear skies.